Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Bamu's Biogenius. Today we will discuss about intermediate filament. These intermediate filaments are solid proteinaceous fibers that are present in the cell cytoplasm. So let us talk about these intermediate filaments. These are very important for UG and PG students. Now the next point is intermediate filament. Why they are called as a intermediate? That is because the size of these filaments is in between microfilaments and microtubules. I have already told you that the microfilaments have a size of 7 nanometer and microtubules have a size of 25 nanometer. That means the diameter. And these intermediate filaments, they have a size of 10 nanometer in diameter. So you can imagine that that's why the name is given as a intermediate filament. So let us see what is intermediate filament. See, it has been found that in some children a genetic disease is there. That genetic disease is known as epidermolysis bullosa, and in that, whenever that child walks, the region where the most stress is there or the stress is created while walking in that particular region, this particular type of blisters are formed. Now this is due to the absence of certain kinds of intermediate filaments. So you can imagine that at every joint you will find that such a type of blisters are there on her skin. So you can imagine the pain that this particular girl is going through. So this is the importance of intermediate filaments in our cell, that these intermediate if they are not present, such a kind of a condition that may arise in a children. Now, when we talk about the position of intermediate filaments, you can see here, these are the microfilaments. Then this blue colored, these are the intermediate filaments. They are forming a cage-like structure around the nucleus. Then the larger one, that is the microtubules, they are arranged in such a manner. Now, all these are, apart from the intermediate filaments, all these are the dynamic structures. Even intermediate filaments are also dynamic in structure, but they are more or less stable than the other microfilaments and microtubules. Now here you can see here, when these such a type of a cell is treated with a concentrated salt solution and non-ionic detergents, you find that, see, only the cytoskeleton of intermediate filaments remain. So whatever the name that is given to this particular proteins, that is a cytoskeleton, this is specially, or it is actually given for intermediate filaments, because intermediate filaments are the only structure when treated with such a solution they are found in the cells. So initially it was considered as the intermediate filament as a cytoskeleton, but later on, as the research progressed, these microfilaments and microtubules are also discovered. So this is what intermediate filaments are. Intermediate filaments are the filaments which are made up of a fibrous protein. Now these fibrous protein, they attach themselves to form a polymer, and this polymer is or this polymer gives rise to intermediate filament. Now what is this fibrous protein? You can see here, this is a protein, and we know that each protein has a amino terminus and a carboxyl terminus, and in between this it is a rod that is made up of alpha helix conformation. Now, this is a monomer of a protein, and it has been found that this particular such type of monomers, they are arranged or they form a coil structure that is known as a coiled coil structure of a dimer. So when they form rod-like filaments, and these rod-like filaments give rise to a dimer, and this dimer again has a polarity, it has a N terminus and C terminus. Now when these two dimers they attach with each other side by side, they loses the polarity. So how they attach, the mechanism of attachment is very unique, where this is known as a staggered end. So a gap is there, and this gap is there, so it is called as a staggered end, and this is known as a staggered tetramer. So these coiled coil dimers, they attach side by side with each other in an anti-parallel manner, with a staggered end, so that one chain or one dimer has a N terminus and another dimer has a C terminus, but when they attach with each other to form a we can say the tetramer, this tetramer has a N terminus and or N terminus at both the ends. So this is what we call it as a loss of polarity when they form a tetramer. So this is known as a staggered tetramer. Now these staggered tetramers, they arrange side by side again to form a kind of a sheet-like structure, and this sheet-like structure, when it compacts, it forms an intermediate filament. So when this tetramer is formed, one end of this tetramer is having N terminus and other end of also shows N terminus, and thus it loses the polarity that we have just um, talked about it. Then finally, these eight tetramers form a rope-like intermediate filament. So eight tetramers combine together to form a rope-like filament. So this is known as, or this is how that this intermediate filament is formed. Now you can see here the position of intermediate filaments in the cell. As I have told you that these monomers, they form a dimer, then dimer form a tetramer, then these tetramers form the intermediate filaments, so rope-like intermediate filament. Now these rope-like intermediate filaments, they, for example, in case of epithelial cells, you can see here, these are arranged like this. These are arranged like this, and that means they are supporting the nuclear membrane as well as they are supporting the plasma membrane. So this is how these intermediate filaments are mm, arranged in a cell, cell cytoplasm. And when even these intermediate filaments are also found inside the nucleus, they are giving support to the nuclear membrane with the help of a protein, or with the help of an intermediate filament protein which is known as a lamin protein. So this lamin protein is also a kind of a protein which forms a monomer, and these monomers form dimer and tetramer and intermediate filaments, and these intermediate filaments inside the nucleus, they support the nuclear membrane, so or a nuclear envelope. So this is known as a lamina, or this particular part or is known as a lamina of intermediate filaments. So this is how that inside the nucleus also we can see the intermediate filaments. As I have told you that the intermediate filaments are made up of a fibrous protein, and this fibrous protein is of a different types, and on the basis of the type of fibrous protein, these intermediate filaments have been classified into 5 types. In some books it is written as a 6 types, but we have included only 5 types. Now you can see here, uh, these intermediate filament types are type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 and type 5. Out of these, type 1 and type 2 are acidic and basic keratin. So the protein that is forming or a fibrous protein that is involved in formation of type 1 and type 2 intermediate filament is a keratin. Whereas in case of type 3, the protein is a desmin or vimentin. In type 4 or neurofilaments, the nerve cells the neurofilaments are found in the nerve cells, and type 5 is a lamin protein. So you can see here that the keratin protein, or we can say the type 1 and type 2 intermediate filaments, are found in nails, hairs, and there are about 50 human genes that codes for these two proteins. Then type 3 is a desmin or vimentin. This is found in smooth muscle cells and endothelial cells. Then in the nerve cells, uh, neurofilament type that is there, and it is again divided into L, M and H. So that is a light chain, medium chain and heavy chain of the fibrous protein that is responsible for the formation of intermediate protein inside the nerve cells. And these light chains, medium chains or heavy chains that are responsible for the width of that neuron. So radial width of neuron, that depends upon these particular types of proteins, intermediate proteins that are present inside the neuro, neuron, neuron or neural cells. Then type 5 protein, I have told you that lamin proteins are there. These type 5 intermediate filaments that contains lamin proteins, and these lamin proteins are present in the nucleus, or they are supporting the nuclear envelope. So all first 4 types are found in the cytoplasm, and the last one, type 5, is found in the nucleus. So these are all the intermediate filament types. Now we will discuss about the functions of intermediate filaments. The first function is a mechanical integrity of the cells or a tissue. So whenever there is a, for example, in this case, there are no intermediate filaments in the cell, and see, when a mechanical stress is experienced by these cells, what happens that the cells ruptures, so they cannot stand the mechanical stress, and because of that the cells rupture. But when these intermediate filaments, they are present in the cell, even if there is a mechanical stress, these particular intermediate filaments helps the integrity of that particular cell types, and they don't allow a rupture of a plasma membrane, and thus the even in a mechanical stress, the cell remains as it is. So this is how that the intermediate filaments maintain the mechanical integrity of the cells. In case of nucleus, the lamin proteins or lamin proteins are involved in formation of intermediate filaments, and these are maintaining the structural integrity of the cell nucleus. Then second examples, or we can say that a second function of the intermediate filaments is maintenance and determination of a cell shape. So you can see here a fibroblast cell. It is a elongated cell. It is a normal. So this intermediate filaments, they are responsible for maintaining a particular peculiar type of structure of a cell. So this is a fibroblast cell. Now if we see that if this particular intermediate filament protein is absent, the same fibroblast cell acquires such a kind of abnormal shape or a rounded shape. So that means that for a particular kind of a cell to maintain its shape, intermediate filaments are very necessary. Now the third function is a cytoskeleton crosstalk. Now what do you mean by a crosstalk? Crosstalk means what? Helping each other. They are interacting with each other. See, the cytoskeletal elements like intermediate filament or a microtubule or a microfilament, they will interact with each other and they will work in unison. So here what happens that whenever a mechanical pressure is applied to the cell, all these cytoskeletal elements, they create a kind of a protective force and reinforces that particular cell. Now sometimes this reinforcement is also difficult for the cells which undergoes constant stretch or stretch and relaxation. For example, in case of heart muscle cells, they constantly undergo the stretching and again or undergo a mechanical pressure or mechanical stress is there and again they relaxes. So in such cases, fluidization, that means a relaxation of this particular reinforced cytoskeletal elements, that is also necessary. So fluidization of a cytoskeletal element is also necessary. All these things that should be done. That this is known as a homeostasis. So this homeostasis should be done in a cytoskeletal, and that is done in a while doing the crosstalk. Then these cytoskeletal elements are also involved in functions necessary, for example, polarization and cell migration, and all these kind of interactive, we can say the interaction between these particular cytoskeletal element is mediated by the motor proteins, that is kinesin, dynein, or myosin 5A. So this is the third function of a cytoskeleton or intermediate filament, that is it helps in cross-talking with other elements like microfilaments and microtubules. Then next one is adhesion. See, the another function of intermediate filaments is adhesion in between the cells. Now this is carried out with the help of desmosome. Now we know that a plasma membrane of you can see here a plasma membrane of a first cell and a plasma membrane of the second cell is forming a kind of a desmosome, and this is a kind of arrangement that attaches neighboring cells with each other, and these desmosomes are attached with the intermediate filaments. So this is how that intermediate filaments, they act like a um, gluing material in between the cells. So this is known as a desmosomes. Then fifth function of intermediate filaments is tethering and positioning of cell organelles at their particular position. As I have already told you that the intermediate filament surrounds the nucleus as if this nucleus is caged in between the intermediate filament. Another peculiar feature of this is that intermediate filaments are also responsible for attaching the various cellular organelles so that they can maintain the position of a cellular organelles inside the cell cytoplasm. So this is known as the tethering and positioning of the cell organelles. So these are the membrane vesicles, these are the mitochondria and the nucleus. All these kind of cellular organelles, they are attached with the intermediate filaments, and thus they are positioned at a particular position inside the cell cytoplasm. So you can see here, if such a type of intermediate filaments are not there, you can see here that the fibroblast cells become rounded, and we see that cellular organelles, they show a kind of a random movement from inside the cytoplasm. So this shows that the positioning of the particular cellular organelles is very important, and that is achieved via the intermediate filaments. The next function is the motility of the cell. It has been found that intermediate filaments are responsible for the motility of the cell. Keratin protein that is present in epithelial cells, when it is replaced by vimentin protein, that means the intermediate filament, if it is made up of a vimentin protein, what happens that the epithelial cell, they transform into a mesenchymal cells. They become elongated and they also become motile. Now this motility is achieved by this vimentin protein, which is now the ingredient of intermediate filament. So this is how it suggests that the certain kinds of protein that are responsible for formation of a special intermediate filaments, and these intermediate filaments are responsible for motility of that particular cell. Now you must be knowing this man. He was a great scientist, Stephen Hawking. He was a cosmologist, mathematician, theoretical physicist, and author of the bestseller book, that is The Brief History of Time. He died in 2018 due to the rare disease that is known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, in which neuromotor deformity is there, or we can say that the motor neurons that get affected, and these in these motor neurons the neurofilaments are there. So these neurofilaments degenerate, which is a part of a cytoskeletal elements. So from this you can imagine that these cytoskeletal elements are very important for each and every type of a cell. So this is all about the intermediate filaments. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bamboo's Biogenius, for latest uploads. If you like my videos, please hit the like button. And if you want to comment, please comment. Thank you.